Greetings friends, I thought that today I would do a little bit of my Christmas prep and bake something with you instead of my usual crafting. I have already today made some curry for the festivities, and next on my list is to make the oat slice, which I am entering into the slice competition for my family's party this year. The recipe that I'm following is one from a site called My Kids Lick the Bowl, and I'm pretty much going to be following it exactly, so I will link it below if you want to check it out yourself and make some yourself. The main thing that I am doing differently is the flavoring. But yeah, let's just get to baking. I've never done one of these videos before, and it's not a tutorial. This isn't an instructional video at all. Like I said, if you want to make this yourself, check out the recipe that I have linked down below. So I have already melted the butter here, and the next thing that I have to do is measure out some sugar. This is all of the brown sugar that I have in my pantry, so hopefully it is going to be enough. Stuck in the jar. So when I cook or bake, because I'm not very confident in the kitchen, and I always need to follow recipes. Even this one here, which I have made many times, I still have to pull out the recipe every time that I make it, because I don't have a memory for recipes, which is fine. And usually when I make something new, I will follow the recipe for the first time that I make it. I will usually follow the recipe exactly, and then from then I may make tweaks to it if I feel like I want to, or if I feel like it needs it. But they're usually just things like flavor preferences and things like that, because like I said, I'm not a confident chef or baker, which is interesting because before I discovered knitting, my obsession, well, not really obsession, but the thing that I really love to do was to bake. But I feel like I don't have like natural instincts for it, but I guess maybe that's part of why I like baking and not cooking, is because it is more of a science and you are following a formula, whereas with cooking, maybe, I don't know if any of what I'm saying is correct, but I feel like you can be a little bit more creative with cooking. My younger sister, on the other hand, is a fantastic cook. She can taste a dish and tell you the ingredients that went into it, and she knows instinctively like what to do in the kitchen and what flavors work together. And I think she will read a recipe or a couple of recipes to try to get an idea maybe of something that she wants to make if she's making something for the first time. But then when it comes to cooking it, she'll sort of just cobble all of the recipes that she's looked at. She'll cobble them together in her head and come up with her own thing, and like, you know, add this, add that. And she always makes amazing, amazing food. She was actually the host of the family function that I went to was that yesterday? No, the day before yesterday. And at some point this year, they got a wood fire pizza oven. And we've been to their place a couple of times for homemade pizzas, and they make the dough and everything themselves, and it was really delicious. She makes amazing, like, gourmet pizzas. They are really, really good. But it was kind of a fun one for the kids as well. So she made all of the adult pizzas, and she made a few different varieties that she likes to do. I think my partner's favorite was like a pesto and prawn one, and my favorite was probably one that had like mushrooms and truffle oil and I think caramelized onion, and I don't know what else. Anyway, the kids got to roll out their own bases. It was very messy, but fun to see what they were doing, and then they got to like put their own toppings and stuff as well. And that was kind of interesting for me as well, because a couple of my nephews did this thing where they put the toppings on and then they rolled up the crust, sort of like to make it look a bit like, I mean, it's not a complete stuffed crust, but they just rolled it up and it was almost like a little bowl. One of my nephews just kept piling stuff on, and then my sister had to come and be like, if you keep adding things to that, it's not going to cook properly because the heat's not going to get through. But I think she caught him just in time, and I think it worked out well. And the kids all really enjoyed that. Okay, next. See just the tiniest little crumb of an eggshell in there, and I did not want to put that in my baking. See that little speck on the end of my spatula? That's a bit of eggshell, and I didn't want to put that in. And instead of vanilla essence, I am flavoring mine with pandan. I need to show you how green this is. It looks like a swamp. Okay, I need to get these out of here because I need to use this measuring bowl. And flour is next. And I'm going to be using possibly the last of this very good flour I've got from a farm that mills flour. So I wonder if I'll have any left of this, or if this will use it up. I think I'll just have a smidge left. So this recipe, it tells you a quantity of flour and the quantity of rolled oats to use. I think I mentioned this yesterday in yesterday's video when I was talking about it. But it said that if you want it to be crunchier, just swap out some of the flour for oats, and if you want it to be chewier, swap out some of the oats for flour. And since I just have this little amount left of the flour, I feel like that's not worth hanging on to, so I'm probably just going to use all of it and then take away that amount of the rolled oats. Okay, just try to level it here. So when I've just put in like a whole lot of dry ingredient like that, I like to try to sort of work it in a little bit so that when I turn on my mixer, the flour just doesn't go flying off everywhere. So I'm just going to do a little bit by hand. And I do the same thing if I put in like a wet ingredient. So that doesn't go splashing around and like flying all over the room as well. So it's not fully mixed in. It's not fully mixed in. Okay, and now it is time for the oats. I don't have any oats left either. So it's probably a good thing that I ended up having extra. I put in extra of that flour because I don't know that I'll have enough oats. One, and then I needed to put in another this tiny amount of oats also isn't worth keeping, so I'm just going to chuck that in too. We'll see how this goes. It's not that much extra, really. I am also doubling this recipe because I need to make lots for my family. It's a big family, a big party. I want to say there's maybe like going to be around 60 people there. give or take. So these will be getting cut up into small slices, and there's going to be everyone else's entries as well. So there's going to be lots of different desserts that everyone's going to need to taste. All in all, this is probably like the quantity of oats that the recipe called for, and so just like an extra quarter cup of flour over the, just an extra quarter cup. So an extra 1/8 cup per like normal recipe amount. Not that I've really told you quantities of anything else, so that doesn't tell you anything, but if you do look up the recipe, then that's how this one is, just ever so slightly different. I don't know that it's worth still using the mixer anymore, actually. I think I can be done with beaters, and I can do the rest by hand. So green! Fun. And it occurred to me as well that like my partner and I, so actually I don't think I mentioned this, but the other thing that my family does for Christmas is we have a dress up theme. This year it is color families, so each family chooses a Christmas color, so it's a color out of red, green, white, yellow and blue, I believe. So each family chooses one color, and everyone in that family has to dress up in that color. And my partner and I are going green, and I will be bringing a green slice. So that's kind of fun. One beater emptied. If you can hear those background noises, this part of the house, the downstairs, is kind of all like one big open plan area, and it's where my partner has his desk as well within the open plan area, so you can probably hear him working away on his computer. He always wears headphones on. He built himself a computer that doesn't have speakers, so he's always got headphones on, so we shouldn't be disturbing him by doing this here. Another one done. Okay. Okay, so that's how that's looking so far, and now I need to put in the flavoring. Oh, I should preheat the oven now too. Oven's preheating. Add the filling. All right, here's my measuring cup. End up using that one. Get things out of my way. So flavor number 1 is ginger, so I'm using this, and I have already I think that might be backwards for you guys. I can't remember if this particular camera setup that I'm using flips it or not. Anyway, yes, so these come in like biggish chunks, so I have already pre-chopped these down into smaller bits. I think I'm using the rest of this as well, because I've already used this packet, some of that packet in previous times that I've made that. And then I've got some dark chocolate melts. I considered chopping these up as well, but I don't think I need to. I also considered using choc chips instead of chocolate pieces, but I think this will be fine. Is that about the right quantity of filling? I think so. The question is, that's still a decent amount to leave behind. I think I was contemplating just chucking them all in there, but I don't think I need to. I don't want to overload this too much. Oh, that does remind me though that the other thing that I wanted to do with this one possibly is if I melt the rest of that, then when the slice is done, maybe I'll drizzle it on top. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Or even not necessarily drizzle it, like maybe while it is still hot out of the oven, if I just like place those over the top of it, then possibly they will melt. But will that look strange to have just like circles of chocolate? If you can see any of the ginger and the chocolate in there, possibly not because everything's being stained green, but that's that all done. That's pretty much it for all of the mixing. And I have here, camera's lost me. Hello, here I am. Oh, that's funny. I confused it. I have here a baking tray. So this, I really do use this as a baking tray, but it is kind of, it has like a bit of depth to it, like it's a couple of centimeters deep. So I'm gonna try baking it in this. Usually when I just make a single quantity of that recipe, I either put it in a square cake tin, or for just ease of eating, I will divvy it up into like a muffin pan. So obviously, like, I mean, not obviously, you don't know, but this isn't going to really rise, so hopefully it will be fine being spread out as a double quantity in this shallow pan. And when I do it in the muffin tins, it doesn't make muffins because I'm still just like, it's the right quantity just to make still like a slice thickness in a muffin pan. It just means that we don't need to make a mess pre-slicing it and all of that stuff. And I am using this reusable liner for baking. I completely forgot when I made banana bread the other day, a couple of weeks ago, whenever that was, that I actually have one of these for my loaf pan. That has actually the slits in it, kind of like what I was doing to cut up the baking paper that I used. Anyway, so this is excellent because I don't need to like grease it or anything like that. It's looking quite crumpled because before I bought that sheet for my loaf pan, I did used to try to fold this so you can kind of see it's still got like the impressions there from all of the times that I forced it into that loaf pan shape. And then I do also have another one of these with pre-cut things for like a round tip. All right, let's see how this goes. It's pretty thick. very, very thick. Let's just sort of like smush it into shape. I hope it's actually enough to cover this whole tray. Should be. I've never done a double quantity like this before. So I'm not really sure how it will go. Possibly still could have put like a dab of butter or something on the bottom of this liner to hold it in place, just because it's, I don't know if you can tell, but as I'm sort of pushing this mix around, it's sliding around on the tray. But I definitely have enough to cover the tray. Just need to try to get it everywhere and then get it as flat as I possibly can. Trying to not have any of the chocolate pieces visible on the top as well. I don't know why, I've just decided that I don't want to. I think I'm worried that it will like burn or something. Kind of wish I'd chopped the chocolate up though. Now that I'm trying to spread this around. That there are some spots that just have a lot of chocolate. I'm sure no one's going to complain about getting those pieces. And I have all of the coverage that I want. I'm really just trying to get it as flat as I possibly can. But because of the oats and all of the fillings, it's quite lumpy. Trying to push it into the corners, especially the edges. Okay, and then let's try to cover up some of these exposed bits of chocolate. There's like 2 pieces of chocolate sitting on top of each other there. So I'm just redistributing the chocolate. All right, that should be good enough. I don't need to be a perfectionist about this. That's it there, like that. And how long does that need to go in for? It'll probably need to go in for a bit longer, but I'll put it in for the original time, come check on it, rotate it in the oven if I need to, and I'll come back with you when it's done. It ended up being in the oven for about half an hour and it is looking nice and golden, or would be golden if it wasn't so green, nicely brown on top. It's turned out to be pretty crunchy, which I like, but I probably could have cooked it even a little bit less to get a bit of a softer texture if I had wanted that. But I am pretty happy with how it turns out, and now it just has to cool in the pan before I can slice it.
I like the ginger.
Yeah, I love the ginger.
I love the kiss.
Look at me. Finally time to reveal the final skein of the Fluff and Nonsense Advent color. So this is what we have so far, all of these beautiful minis. And the last one is a big one. Let's see what it is, I'm so excited. Ta-da! Oh, I was right. Did I guess, or did I just think I guessed that the last skein would be smog? This is totally smog. Look at that gorgeousness. Oh, I'm so excited. It's so beautiful and I can't wait to knit all of this up. I think I really will put them together in the same project. Look at that. That's all I have for you today. I will see you tomorrow for what is probably going to be the last video of this Vlogmas series. Have a good night.